Boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, children of all ages, Mass Effect has been an absolutely huge franchise for a very long time. Obviously, the games kind of fell off towards the end, and a lot of the stuff that's been put out recently, well, needless to say, hasn't been so hot. Well, of course, it's one of them situations, one of these kind of people that are responsible for these kind of games out there, and they decide to interject their own identity politics nonsense into things. Well, guess what? They generally get the backlash that we've seen over the last few years. Obviously, the gaming industry has had a major issue with this between the Sweet Baby Inc. things and all the rest of the kind of nonsense out there, and well, guess what? Just as we've seen time and time again, the game guy out there responsible for the Mass Effect board game decided to insert a bunch of pronouns into it. Well, color us shocked there. When he finds out that the majority of the world does not agree with him in any way, shape, or form, he runs and hides. And that's exactly what we're going to talk about, show off, ridicule, laugh at, and make fun of this fool today for doing. Because as usual, it turns out they're nothing more than a bunch of cowards when they find out that, oh, color us shocked there. You're not on the right side of history after all, and the whole world doesn't agree with your political messaging BS, especially in our entertainment and escapism. Because as you can see over here from our dear sweet fandom pulse over there with the Substack, after gamers rejected his Mass Effect board game pronoun insert, board game designer Eric Lang retreats from X to BlueSky. Oh yes, color us shocked there. The literal echo chamber that is BlueSky with all of the pronoun nonsense bio psychopaths. It's literally become the new Tumblr for weirdos out there. And the funniest part about this is it's not going to last. Just like Threads didn't last, just like none of the rest of this stuff lasts. They will be back. Why? Because they don't get the interaction they did. There's no other side. There's no people for them to argue with because it's literally an echo chamber. And outside of the trolls from like, I don't know, the common sense people out there in the world, there's really nobody else over there. And also it's a hotbed for some very not so very nice people at all. And once again, that we've seen plenty of screenshots and evidence of all of that kind of stuff. So this is really funny. It's just another day in wise, but you know what? There's some people out there that wanted me to make this video, want me to talk about this and laugh at this guy and ridicule him because, I mean, look at this guy. I mean, seriously, boys and girls, seriously. So needless to say, we're going to get into this article and check all the juicy details, see exactly what this idiot has said in the past in case you need a little refresher. And then, of course, see what he's actually been doing right now in the little cowardly ways that he simply cannot handle opinions that don't agree with him. But before we do, if you do enjoy our content, hit that like button, share with all your friends, and subscribe or follow if you have not already, boys and girls, because we are grinding, we are growing, and I could not do that without every single one of you. Also, leave us a comment in the section down below. Are you a Mass Effect fan out there? Did it surprise you at all that this guy is running and hiding now when he's actually getting pushed back against arguments and things that don't actually agree with himself? Or do you not really give a crap about the Mass Effect board game in any way, shape, or form? And guess what? It's just another sign of the times and how bad saturated the cult is into absolutely every aspect of our life. I mean, seriously, board games have gone completely and totally woke. Wow, what a world that we live in, boys and girls. Let us know what you think about all that in the comment section down below. And if you'd like to support the channel, please check out the links in the description as well. So from fandompulse.substack, Eric Lang is one of the worst leftist grifters in board gaming. Recently under fire for putting pronouns into the Mass Effect board game, now he's flouncing off of X and entered the BlueSky echo chamber along with much of the rest of the woke industry. If you don't know what flouncing means, it's basically like bouncing. He's retreating, kind of going off in a florious way because, of course, they all have to announce that they're doing this. They just can't leave. The woke mind virus has invaded the board game industry in recent years, with the bulk of the mainstream industry pushing hard for leftist identity politics. They went so crazy during the election that they started a Gamers for Harris site where board game designees, company executives, and influencers all listed their names to try to pressure others in the industry to voice public support for the failed presidential candidate. The site has since been deleted. Well, yeah, when you found out the whole world didn't agree with you, why would you don't want any evidence of that? You wouldn't want any evidence of that, but guess what? The internet's forever. Like many in leftist entertainment spheres, after the election of Donald Trump, board game designer influencers blamed Elon Musk for allowing free speech on X, and a large portion of them retreated into BlueSky echo chamber to avoid having to interact with real people, customers, or gamers. Yeah, I mean, seriously, how many of y'all out there have a BlueSky account? Well, I'm sure y'all just jumped over there to have a real great time with that. I'm sure there's plenty of people that actually buy products. I don't know, maybe people that actually watch Star Wars, maybe actually buy Marvel products that are over there. Yeah, exactly. Eric Lang remained on X and he had a big account and apparently couldn't survive without the dopamine hit it offered from his following. And like I said, he'll be back just like the rest of them because, of course, they cannot get away from that kind of stuff. Lang has made it a career out of being black and a victim, and Lang has made a career out of being black and crying victim over his race. Oh, you mean another race hustler, another grifter? Oh, color us shocked there. I'm sure we haven't seen a million of those these days. Wow, it's just another par for the course situation. Color us shocked. Using an infamous interview with Tom Vassell of the Dice Tower to push heavy extremist politics in 2020 after the Black Lives Matter riots. The DC Tower has since deleted the interview and purged record of it from the internet out of embarrassment that Lang had caused them. Well, guess what? He's caused the exact same kind of embarrassment for Mass Effect out there as well. So I don't blame you guys in in any way, shape, or form. And this was the funny part about the Mass Effect thing too, right? Because we covered this a while back, right? The pronouns thing was not found out until after the game was released. They intentionally hid it from all of the marketing out there because they knew the kind of backlash that they were going to get. And guess what? It's exactly what they got, and it's exactly what they deserve. His takes on X have always been pushing controversy to an extreme and using his leftist clout to parlay himself into design jobs within the industry, such as with Mass Effect, the board game Priority Hagalaz. The game became infamous back in October when the game's creator, Eric Lang, described players as fucking man babies and accused them of trying to tank the game's review score on board games because they can't handle looking at pronouns over a character sheet. And as you can see right here, I hate even talking about this on social media. But if you played Mass Effect, the board game, would you mind giving it a rating on Board Games Game to offset the fucking man babies trying to tank the rating with ones because they can't handle looking at pronouns on a character sheet? Well, you know what? It wasn't even probably so much that they couldn't handle looking at pronouns on a character sheet. First, we know pronouns on a character sheet are obviously political. Second, you completely and totally hid that from all of your marketing. Why? Because you did not want your sales to tank preemptively. Because if you put that in the marketing, you knew the kind of backlash you would get. Or at least your bosses, Eric Lang, your bosses in the marketing department knew what kind of backlash it was going to get. And guess what? That's exactly what happened. And you know what? Your game probably tanked and it probably didn't sell very well. And Eric Lang, it's all your own fault. So you can call us man babies, you can call us crybabies all day long if you want, if it makes you feel better, if maybe it helps you in your little bubble over there at BlueSky. But at the end of the day, we're the ones with the money and we're the ones that decide what succeeds and what fails. Not you, Eric. As noted by Lang and shared to X by Grums, the game lists its pronouns for various Mass Effect characters. As you can see here, Liara, she, they, yada, 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 all of that kind of stuff. While Lang has since deleted the post, he did write another one claiming he stands by his attack on gamers. He wrote, deleted the stupid post because, well, you know why? Oh, you mean because we call you out for your actions and we actually hold you responsible for the things that come out of your mouth? I know, strange concept. I hate deleting posts that I stand behind, but fuck it. Twitter sucks so fucking much. Oh, yes, cry. It's so sad now that you live in the public town square out there. You just had to shout a bunch of nonsense into the public town square, and the public town square pushed back on you. I know. Guess what? You don't live in the little leftist bubble you always thought you did, because guess what? The rest of the world does not agree with your insane ideology. And oh, you cry a little more, you big baby, because you just can't handle any opinions that aren't exactly like you. Oh, color a shock there. More toxic positivity is what all of these people live in, because God forbid anybody tell them no, that they're wrong or they're crazy. Well, guess what? Reality is now sitting on all of these folks, and they simply can't handle it. While he deleted the post on X, he did not delete one on BlueSky expressing the same sentiment. He wrote, I'm so proud of Mass Effect and so endlessly tired of the fucking man babies who try and tank our BGG rating score because we took 10 seconds to add pronouns to the squad mates. And as you can see here, I mean, overall, it's still got a really good rating. He's literally mad. He went off on this whole tirade over the 10-1 scores that he got, completely ignoring the 21-8 scores he's got and everything else. Like, God forbid he literally had a meltdown. He could not ignore it. He could not just walk past it, even though the majority of people seem to like this game. He couldn't walk past that just because 10 people gave him a 1 and called him out for his pronoun BS. He had a complete and total meltdown and is now probably, hopefully, completely and totally tanked his career. Hopefully, Lord willing, and Lord willing, and the Greek don't rise. Hopefully, that is actually the way it ended up going, because guess what? This is exactly what you deserve. You just had to bash your fans. You just had to bash your audience. You just had to bash the paying customer. And guess what? That's going to cause problems. Like I said, he could have just shut up and not said anything, but he could not help himself, and so here we are now. He also shared the review breakdowns, revealing the game only had 10 one-star reviews compared to 14 one-star reviews. Oh, you poor thing out there. Oh, guess what? It got worse. This is what you get. That's right. This is what got even worse. So this is where it was at, right? This is what caused the actual meltdown, because he highlighted this. Over 10 one scores. What did that turn around and get him? 52. Now this thing has an incredibly horrendous rating over there. All he had to do was shut up and everything would be fine. But obviously, narcissism, ego-driven garbage, BS, he simply could not help himself in any way, shape, or form. So now, more than a month after he and Battle Creator decided to attack gamers over not wanting pronouns in a board game, stirring up controversy intentionally, like I said, it was 10 reviews. He could have just ignored it and moved on with his life. But oh, no, could not do that. He announced he will be flouncing from X. And yeah, bouncing again. It's a shout out to the fancy word. He posted, repurposing this account now. turning off replies, and only using and posting periodic product and game updates for fans. For more robust, interactive postings, you can find me on the Blue site. Address in the name. Thanks all. So yes, there you go, boys and girls. Take a victory lap, pat yourselves on the back, because for simply calling a guy out for exactly what he said and all the kind of nonsense, political BS, he decided to shove into Mass Effect. He decided to run and hide. And like they say right here, it seems Lang couldn't handle the heat after the Mass Effect board game was exposed as woke propaganda, sinking the game's ratings as gamers rejected such extreme messaging. And yes, exactly. And that's how things go, and that's why he's gotten exactly what he deserves, because he's just another coward, virtue-signaling, pussy-ass bitch. They could not handle any actual legitimate criticism and certainly couldn't handle any kind of pushback whatsoever, because guess what? You don't control the narrative anymore. Your cancel culture BS doesn't work. Goblin King, you have no power over me. And that's why they run and hide, because they're simple cowards. They have lost all the authority and all the power that they had thought they had, that for some reason the culture had granted them at some point. And they find out now, guess what? The AAA studios, all of these big corporations don't have your backs anymore, because guess what? All of the lies you told them about going, oh, you're going to bring in this brand new audience. It's going to it's going to replace your old audience. It's going to be so much better. It's going to be so much more wonderful. Guess what? That audience doesn't exist. The modern audience has never existed. What exists is the audience, the same audience that it has always been, where you like normal stuff, you like action, you like heroes, you don't have to think about politics and your escapism. And guess what? You decided to Eric Lang to shove politics into your game, knowing intentionally that it would piss off a lot of people out there, and now you've decided to run and hide to another echo chamber. Color us shocked there. BlueSky is nothing more than the exact same kind of San Francisco Hollywood bubble that all of these people have lived in. Twitter, because of what X has become now, and because of the fact that you can actually push back and legitimately speak your mind without worrying about having the supervisors over there cancel your entire account for it, now they find out once the playing field is leveled, they cannot hide it. So they run like cowards, like they have always been. They are weak-willed people, and they will continue to be so. So enjoy your echo chamber, Eric Lang. The rest of us will enjoy watching your entire career burn down to an oblivion. And after all, you did it to yourself. You could have just ignored those 10, and then you turned it into 52. Congratulations. You did it to yourself, and you're getting exactly what you deserve. Enjoy the echo chamber.